All right. All right, it's the Red Pill. Welcome to Red Pill News Dispensary. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button for no sound. Okay, so let me make sure that I'm not echoing because I definitely hit a button. Oh, okay, it's a button that's okay to hit. All right, so good. Anyway, so what I wanted to talk about first before the call was some breaking news. So there's breaking news, and then there's also news that had happened like a few hours ago, and both involve Saudi Arabia, Saudi airports, as well as Saudi drones. So let's see. It looks like, hey, you can't go after the U.S. drones because, I mean, they're on the brink of, literally like starting a war. Just like the whole world basically saying F you to us, even our closest of allies. So let's get that story up. I just had it up and now I don't, which sucks. Alright, here it is. Alright, this is the first one. Let me share. I know you guys can only see like a little bit of it. Let me see. I'll just make it so it shares the whole screen. Okay, that's good. Okay. Come on. Alright. So somebody in chat was talking about this, and I agree with them. I said, you know what? I agree. Saudi was the leading funder of terrorism because they have so much money. I mean, I've seen Saudi princes out on the town in Boston, and it is ridiculous. I mean, I can't even begin to. They were in VIP of the VIP with everything they want. Like, everyone ended up having to leave because they didn't like some of the stuff that was going on. Like, these guys have so much power. And this was like a nephew of a prince. Like, there was another time there was a prince, but not like a head, like a top prince, just a prince. And, he basically ran the show. You have to tell, everyone has to leave and all that, same type of situation. It was unbelievable, these Saudis, the money. But their war with Yemen, it's almost not even fair. However, the Houthis launched drone attack on Saudi airport. Oh, so actually, I guess it was a Houthi drone on. See, I like to wait to read the report until I read it with you. Unless it's something like extremely serious and I want to really have a handle on it before I go on, I like to read it with you. So, okay, alright, so let's see what this is about. This is my first time reading as well. Saudi-led coalition forces intercepted a drone launched by Yemen's Houthis at, I'm going to say, Yazan airport in southern Saudi Arabia, a coalition spokesman said on Saturday. Houthi-run Masira TV reported earlier that the Iran-aligned movement had carried out drone attacks on military positions and aircraft hangars at the airport. And what did I just say? They know that the Americans are legit, like right at that line where they will attack you. So what do? They go after our closest allies in the region. Right? Makes sense. So I was wondering, I was like, how did the Houthis get a drone that close and actually get it into a Saudi airport, regardless of if it's southern or not? How is that possible? Well, it's possible because the Iranians, because they are the leading. Now, I know that the Saudis have a lot to do with a lot of different things, but right now, I don't care. I've seen a lot of comments saying both ways. Most agree with me. At this point, Iran is the leader in funding of terrorism. That's it. Here's another situation. Although this is more like, kind of provocations of war. Alright, so anyways. The attack has not achieved any of its targets, and the drone has been destroyed, the coalition spokesman said in a statement released by the Saudi press agency. There has been no independent reports from Yazan to provide more details. The U.S. and Saudi Arabia have presented evidence of Iranian drones and missiles supplied to Houthis in Yemen. Before I even read the story, what did I say? I knew it. I knew Iran was the one behind this. And, but Yemen is the one, the Houthis are the one, actually doing it, so it kind of muddies the waters there. Since early May, when tensions with Iran increased, there have been several similar attacks on Saudi oil. Sorry about that. What is going on? What is, am I getting alerts? There have been several similar attacks on Saudi oil installation and airports. 2 attacks also targeted Saudi and other oil tankers in May and June. The United States and Saudi Arabia have blamed Iran for those attacks. but have not retaliated against it. Well, that's not 100% true. The U.S. did launch a cyber attack that took down Iran's defense system, that also took down their cruise missiles, and it totally messed up their whole grid. We didn't take down their power grid, but as far as, well, I kind of understand a little bit more. I'm trying to say it without saying things I shouldn't. Basically, the U.S. Gave them viruses, gave them, messed up their whole infrastructure as far as electronics and military communications go. Alright, so the communications are all out of whack, their defense systems are all down, and this was right before we were supposedly gonna strike. Which, if you haven't learned by now, that was a made-up story. I mean, I can't say for a fact, but I can say it in an extremely educated way that was a way of making a warning, of setting a bar, and basically Trump came up with this story that also makes him look good. Like, at the last minute he stopped it. I just don't think it went down like that. That sounds like a movie, like 10 minutes left until it's too late to turn back, and Trump says, how many deaths will there be? They've already established how many deaths would be, okay? He's not gonna find out 10 minutes before. There's already been briefings. They already talked about how many casualties there will be. They already went over all that. It's just optics. That's all it is. But regardless, we did have a strike ready, probably through Bolton, and decided not to go through with it, which was the right decision, in my opinion. So that's that story. Alright, so that's the older story. Now here's the more breaking news part of it. Here we go. Saudi Arabia says it intercepted 2 Yemen rebel drones. This is breaking, guys. This is written out of Dubai, where the only cars on the streets are Bentleys and Rolls Royces. I mean, what a city, huh? People would think that, these poor Middle Eastern countries, yeah, right, they have cities where it's only Bentleys and Rolls Royces. You can't have a different car. They're all there and you rent them. Saudi Arabia, I know all this because I had a really good friend that I used to work with who was Moroccan. He was Muslim. And, he kind of told me a lot about this type of stuff. And this is when Dubai was being not initially built, but built up. Saudi Arabia says it intercepted 2 drones launched by Yemen's Iranian-backed Houthi rebels targeting the kingdom. The Houthis' Al Masirah satellite news channel late Saturday said the rebels targeted Saudi airports in Abha and Yazan with Qusayf 2K drones. I think I actually nailed that. The kingdom's state-run Saudi press agency quoted military spokesman Colonel Turki al-Maliki as saying the country intercepted 2 drones launched by the Houthis, but supplied by the Iranians, which caused no damage or casualties. So it looks like they tried once and tried again, The first one we had already heard about at Yazan. Now the one in Abha, that's the new one. The kingdom's state-run Saudi press agency quoted military. I said that. Alright. Saying the country, which has caused no damage or casualties. The Houthis have increasingly used drones to target southern Saudi Arabia. That's where they're most vulnerable. It's very difficult to reach northern Saudi Arabia for the Houthis because think of the Houthis as Yemen. Put it that way. For those of you like wondering, like who's the Houthi? Think of them as the radicals and fighters from Yemen. Okay? Think of it like that. So they've increasingly used drones to target southern Saudi Arabia, including 2 recent strikes on the Abha airport, which killed 1 person and wounded over 30. Now that's not today, that was a prior strike they're talking about. But it was very recent. A Saudi-led coalition has been fighting the Houthis since March 2015, with their airstrikes internationally criticized for killing civilians, which is why it's been very difficult for Trump to make that huge sale of U.S. military weapons to the Saudis. The Democrats are pushing back on it, but the Democrats have pushed back on a lot of things, and it seems like Trump usually gets his way. So we'll see. The drone attacks also came amid heightened tensions between the U.S. and Iran. I mean, talk about a world on, all these rumors of wars. It's not like exactly war, but it might as well be. Okay, so that's it for that. Let's see what else they got on it. Let's see what this says. Migrant aid ship rams Italian police boat. Captain arrested. Wow. I mean, no wonder they're European. Friggin' turncoats. We'll talk about that in a second. I lost it, but whatever. You guys caught the headline. Alright, so, now, no, that's old. So that's basically the gist of it. Okay, alright, so on to the next. And, it's kind of funny. Whenever the U.S. does something or there's an attack, when the U.S. is involved and oil is involved, the price goes up. Yet, in this situation, because the EU did something unprecedented, oil dips late after EU reportedly to allow Iran trade despite U.S. sanctions. Let me read that again, or let me put that in different words. The EU circumvented, meaning they went around the U.S. policy on sanctions against Iran. And of all times to do that, they do that when we're on the brink of war. Right? Isn't that? I mean, you would think that the whole EU is supposed to be our allies. We know Britain is, but what about the rest of the EU? France, Germany, Italy, all these countries. Really? They're going against us? I don't. It's unbelievable. Now, this is proof. To me, this is proof of a, whatever you want to call it, New World Order, deep state, anything you want to call it, the cabal, anything you want to call it. This is proof of that. because the European countries and the people of those countries, maybe Germany might feel a certain way based on history, but it is what it is. There's winners and losers. But for France, are you kidding me? The people of France love us. The rest of the world, they kind of do, like, look at us and kind of mock us a little bit. But when it comes down to it, they know that when war breaks out, the U.S. is there to save your ass. Poland, did you see the Polish with Trump? How much they love him? But the problem is, that's the problem with things like this. The EU, where, you're a country, yet you're only a small piece to this larger group, the EU, which has people strategically placed where they will do things that are not exactly in the European people's interest, but in the interest of the EU. Because the EU, they have been failing. They have been not doing so well. As far as, their dollar, whatever they call it, the euro, there's a lot of things going on right now. The fact, the Brexit, there's a lot of things with the EU that are not exactly shaping out the way it should. Germany is depending on Russia for oil. Things that just aren't supposed to be. And ever since Trump became president, not only are they having problems, but he's individually going to each country saying, hey, we need to renegotiate this trade deal because, and you know what, that might be part of the reason why this happened. This is the drawback, and, this is basically what happens when you go America first. The countries that you're kind of dismissing or, being tough on might pull some BS like this. But I mark my words, they will not be happy with the end result. I'm not saying that we're going to bomb the EU, but we will not forget this at all. For those of you who didn't see the shows yesterday, the EU totally turned on the U.S. and decided that they were going to open up channels with Iran to do trade and all kinds of other stuff while we're in the midst of a potential war. What's that tell you? Before I told you, you can tell, and also some of our other supposed allies like Turkey, Pakistan, India, well, you can tell where they stand. One, based on some of the big meetings about currency, about supposed Afghan security, things like that. But really, my litmus test is, do they buy the Patriot or THAAD, THAAD missile system, defense missile system, or do they go with the Russian S-400? Well, Pakistan, S-400. India, S-400. Alright? Now, mind you, people, they're kind of actually worried. They're even though they got it, they're kind of worried. They're well, Russia is kind of still kind of controlling it. You know what I mean? Russia can get a lot of information about their countries through these systems because they built them. They don't know what backdoors are built in. And if there's one thing Russia's good at, it's counterintelligence, cyber intelligence, things like that. And then, just recently, Turkey. And we kind of gave Turkey an ultimatum. We said, hey, if you buy that S-400, because that's a very strategic location. And when we were fighting ISIS, that's where we were coming in from. And I think what drove them to say screw it was we didn't let them just slaughter somebody help me out. Who is the group in Syria that's kind of fighting in our interest. Oh man, I mean I know it. It's just on the tip of my tongue. The group that was fighting ISIS. Well, it'll come to me later. But the group that was fighting ISIS is a group that the Iranians do not like, and that might have been the tipping point because they really don't like them. Did someone got it in chat? Anyone got it? Let me see. I can't think right now. What's the name of the group that's basically, kind of like does our work over there, and they kind of I remember they had a bunch of female fighters. I used to always talk about these people and how amazing they were. I'm talking about in Syria, the Kurds. Thank you, the Kurds. And so the Kurds always fought, and their interests aligned with ours. But Turkey was almost like, hey, if you want to continue to use us as a launching point, no, the Kurds, that's not going to work. Those are our like mortal enemies. And I think that they wanted to take, they were at a point where they were going to take the Kurds out, and we stepped in and stopped it. There was going to be like a genocide, and we stepped in and stopped it. Because the Kurds, they're great fighters, and they were a big piece of the puzzle of eradicating ISIS from that area. Anyways, to continue real quick before the calls. I have so much, and by the way, if the calls are slow, I have so much other intel tonight, but let's just finish the story. So crude oil prices tumbled just before the settlement after European parties to the Iran nuclear deal said they would try to help normalize trade with the country despite U.S. sanctions. WTI settled at minus 1.6 at 58.47. So that's not too bad. Per barrel, that's not too bad. That's kind of where they want it. If it goes any lower, much lower than that, you're gonna see some type of event. Or it's funny how oil just, you can I could like literally, like if I see that price and it said 52.47 or 51.47 heading to 50 and lower, I would tell you, alright guys, something's going to happen. It's going to involve one of these countries. I'd be able to tell you. Actually, I did it before with the last one because of some stock analyst, and I learned it from him. And when you look back, every single time there's been a crisis with oil, you look at the price of the barrel, it's either like 52, 51, 50, or in the 40s. It's never been 58, 59, or 60 plus whenever there's like some disaster with the oil. So, that's another proof. So we have proof of the New World Order. We have proof of, also have proof of, in this situation, we have proof of, kind of messing with the markets with the oil through attacks, through FFs. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable. I mean, there's 2 huge red pills for you. 2 huge red pills. Get those peds real quick, because you guys need to realize this stuff. This is how the world works. Which is why we have so much interest over there. Iran has urged the Europeans to stop buying Iranian oil or give Iran a credit line to keep the accord alive. But the Trump administration today threatened to sanction any countries that import Iranian crude. wait, that must be Brent crude. I'd like to see what the U.S. crude is right now. Okay, so, wow, so what are we going to do? Sanction Europe? I mean, this is unbelievable. This is huge. Also, and when I put it on the news, I saw one mention of it, like kind of barely, and then they're just talking about BS. It's unbelievable. I mean, for those of you who don't know, ever since 2013, we've always had a ban on propaganda called the Smith-Mundt Act. Yet in 2013, Obama lifted the Smith-Mundt Act, meaning that ever since then, propaganda has not only been legal, but encouraged by the U.S. government in cooperation with our media, whether it be TV, internet, radio, whatever it is. I work in radio, and trust me, there's a guy who comes in every here and there because there's something that he needs said on the radio. It's nothing bad, it's just, just kind of like pumping up something, It's crazy. It really is. It blows my mind. Even though I know it, it still is somewhat of a red pill for me. A reminder red pill, Also, U.S. officials reportedly have concluded that drone attacks on Saudi Arabia's oil industry last month were launched from Iraq, not Yemen, raising concerns that Iran's allies are trying to open a new front in the regional conflict. You heard that? So, right now it's pretty easy for the Saudis because directly south they have Yemen and the Houthis, and it's a pretty easy war, and they're taking them out despite Iranian help. Yet, because we left Iraq kind of abandoned, and Russia helped, all these countries helped to eradicate ISIS, but that leaves a vacuum. So now all of a sudden you have fighters launching from Iraq as well. Now Saudi has to fight a two-front war, and they don't want that. Crude futures have been little changed ahead of the G20 meeting between President Trump and China's President Xi this weekend, and on production cuts from the OPEC meeting that starts Monday. OPEC officials said today the cartel was set to extend oil production cuts into this year's H2. I believe that means second half. If I'm wrong, you can correct me, but I think it means the second half of the fiscal year, or the year from then, with the Saudis also saying they would apply pressure to the laggard producers such as Iraq and Nigeria, which they say have not complied with their pledged output curbs under the current agreement. I mean, is it me, or were we not the ones who put that government in? It just blows my mind. It really does. Things weren't bad enough, just the other day I was talking about how, the whole world's against us and all this crap. But, Alright. So, alrighty, right is left is right. Okay. So, phone lines are open. Alright? Until then, I got other stories I can go over. Let's see. Let me just make sure the phone is on. Operational, charged. Yep. All good on the phone line. You know what? Let me check chat. I mean, I was pissed yesterday. I kind of flipped out, but okay. Let's see. Oh, Drop's in here. Drop. I didn't get you last night. It kept on going out. So, you know, you have. I encourage you to call first because you were supposed to be the caller last night. So, Drop, if you want to call, it's all you. I wonder how much of a delay they put in this time. So last night, what happened was I came out and I had a very heated statement about not only all the countries that had stacked up against us, but also the fact that the Europeans who would be speaking German right now if it wasn't for us. And then by now they'd probably be speaking, what is it, Farsi? They'd be speaking that. But we came in, we saved their asses, and this is what we get for it? I'm telling you, it still pisses me off, to be honest with you. Like, it's not right. It's just not right. Like, there's certain things where, I know that that's a long time ago and that's history, but you need to respect that. That's like right now, if China is all of a sudden, like, invading us from all directions and Europe bands together and stops it, we would be forever in debt. But no, it's the other way around. They're forever in debt to us. But don't be mad at the European people. I'm telling you, this is as clear of evidence as you're gonna get of New World Order, of deep state, of cabal, of all that crap. This is clear evidence. You know the European people don't want to go against us and go for Iran. You know that. You know, they're Western culture. They love our culture. They probably can't stand us in some ways. I can't stand us in some ways. To be honest. I mean, I love the United States of America, but, you know, there's a lot of characters here, and I can't stand us sometimes. It's just, I'm curious about who is the final, like, who made that final call? You know, let's look it up. While we're waiting for someone to call, because I'm sure, so it was yesterday, I started talking about it, got really heated, and then all of a sudden, they wouldn't let me go back online. I've never had that happen before. It wasn't like I didn't really know what I was doing. No, I know OBS streams in and out. So it wasn't OBS streams. It wasn't anything else. It was exactly what it sounds like. Let me see. Okay. Circumvent. Can I spell that? Circumcise? Circumvent? Circumvent the U.S. They might as well circumcise. This is exactly what they did. They chipped away at us. And now when you look at the world, it's like literally the world against us. I mean, the British are on our side, I think, right? I don't know. Are they? I mean, yeah, I think so. They usually are. But, I don't know. Are they sick of our antics? Do they realize we have a different president? They don't like our president. You know, it's almost like we're not the U.S. anymore. We're the nation that elected Trump. And a lot of the people might like it, but the world leaders do not like it. He's throwing monkey wrenches and everything. He's going around demanding to restructure deals. They don't like that crap. But guess what? That's what's happening. And I don't mean to put out like fair porn. It's just I didn't even put you. I gotta add Iran. I just want to know who he is, and then we're going to investigate him. Oh, what's this? It looks like this is something. Europe sets up Iran trade mechanism to bypass U.S. sanctions. So the EU, this isn't unprecedented as I thought. January 2nd, 2019. Huh. 6 months ago. Not even, but still, about 6 months ago. Britain, France, Germany. That's the same ones. I want to see. Who is it? Who is the one? Who is the one? See, the thing is, I don't think it's one person. The 3 countries, the European signatories of the 2015 deal that curbed Tehran launched the right. I mean, EU ministers in Bucharest, of course. So to me, the foreign ministers of Britain, Germany, and France. Jeremy Hunt, Heiko Maas, and Jean-Yves Le Drian. Well, the French are always involved in these secret societies. Let's look this prick up. Now, this isn't exactly about what happened just yesterday, but it looks like there's been but Iran. Let's see. Oh yeah, France warns Iran against violating nuclear commitments. BS. Come on. Oh, Iran wrote about them. What do they have to say? French hypocrisy toward Yemen war. You know what? I think that this was all disinformation to mislead people so that we were as shocked as we were. Oh, here we go. So here's in Iran, how they're doing it. Europe not doing enough to save JCPOA. Is this current? Where do they have their dates? Up here? June. No, this is current. I mean, they're not doing enough. So let's see what's going on in their newspaper. This is Iran's like New York Times, you know. UAE, United Arab Emirates, I always have a problem with that. Emirates say downed U.S. drone had taken off from its territory. You know who you are? You were right. I knew you were right because you said it. You're always right. But you know who you are. You were right. Iran takes U.S. breach of its airspace to UN. Iran has filed a complaint to the UN Security Council against the United States for violation of its airspace by a U.S. drone, which was shot down. So, and you know what? Honestly, to be honest, despite all this crap, I do believe that our drone was in their airspace. And I also believe that that's not anything new. I think they shot it down. They knew they had the EU about to announce this. Heavy defeat for U.S. and Saudi Arabia in G20 meeting. Ooh. I think that's worth reading, right? U.S. President's meeting with the Saudi Crown Prince on the sidelines of the G20 meeting illustrated their heavy defeat in pushing their hostile agenda against Iran. I mean, honestly, I think the G20 is when, because Trump has been like winning, and then you got all the Q stuff, which might even not be real, but, you got that, and you do learn a lot from it at least. But, it looks like this is like the last stand. This is where the deep state, the NWO, the powers that be and have been dug in at the G20 summit. During this meeting in Osaka, Japan, Mohammed bin Salman tried his best to rally East Asian countries, for instance, Indonesia and South Korea. I know, right? Where was South Korea? Against Iran. Where's our allies? Is it just us and Saudi Arabia? I can't scream like that. My daughter's, it just pisses me off. All of Europe doing it. Where's Britain? Canada will be there, I'm sure. I wouldn't trust Mexico, Central America, and South America. Maybe Colombia, but I wouldn't trust the rest of them. And Colombia might have their hands full of Venezuela. It's like we're heading down the path to a world war. And biblically, you need to make sure you have that full armor of God. Let's continue. Oh, you mother. Okay. As I say something like that. I need to make sure I clean up my cursing. The failure of the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia in achieving his anti-Iranian goals comes when bin Salman relied on the other G20 members for siding with Saudi Arabia and Washington against Tehran. Now, this is kind of like dripping with propaganda, so with a grain of salt, okay? According to informed sources, issues discussed during bin Salman's meeting with other countries' officials at the meeting. How do I get to page 13? Can I get to page 13? It's just the front page. Most Saudis wish bin Salman didn't take power, a survey shows, from Iran. Let's see what else. Cry for hapless Trump. He created the current mess. Oh, that might be worth reading. And it's Trader from North Carolina. No one can legitimately feel sorry for Donald Trump. It's not about Trump. I'm telling you, the left has gone so crazy. They think it's like about Trump. If Trump gets defeated or, things are stacked against him, guess what that means? That means that your children's future and your immediate situation is at risk. Okay? That's what it means. And it means that you are surrounded. Okay, it's going to affect all of us. So whether you like Trump or not, he is the president of, last I checked, the United States of America. Yeah, people talk about him like he's a different entity. I don't get that. I really feel like the left has lost their minds. Like, they would rather see us become a third world country than see Trump succeed and have us back as powerful as we were at one point. Where, you could have one person in the house work. It could be male or female, I'm with the times. But my point isn't so much I think it's important that you have someone home with the kid. The way things go today, I was talking to someone today, I was talking about the basement baby stuff that I mentioned earlier, and instead, all I get is they were talking about how basically kids are raised by daycares, school. They spend 90% of their time with schools and daycares, and by the time their parents actually have time to sit and spend any time with them, and during the week, it's a very, very small portion of time. It's like the government and these daycares are raising our kids, and I'm in the middle of it right now. I'm being pressured to put my child in daycare, and I don't mind doing it, but they're saying 5 days a week. I said no. You know what I mean? No. She's 2, not 5, not 4. She's 2. She needs to, we need to continue our relationship and learning things, and I have a certificate in child growth and development. It's not like I'm a dummy, I know, I understand certain signs and what to do. Anyways. Alright, let me make sure this is let me make it bigger for you guys. I didn't even know you guys actually okay. And by the way, phone lines are open. So drop anyone. Bueller. Okay. But this will be an interesting story, I'm sure. If it's in the newspaper in Tehran, written by some trader, Martin Love, I like to look him up. Cry not for hapless Trump. Why not? That means cry not for the United States of America. That's how I read it. I don't know about you guys. He created the current mess. No one can legitimately feel sorry for Donald Trump. For 14 months, he's been on a way over his head in geopolitics. I wouldn't, I wouldn't agree there. What? He's been doing great. This is the first time that, it kind of feels like, what's going on here? And that primarily about Iran. This guy doesn't even have correct grammar or sentence structure that makes sense. And that primarily about Iran. He's been way over his head and we wants it, and that primarily. It should say, and primarily with Iran. Oh my God. But with maybe it's the way they speak, and I don't know. But with the various sanctions and threats cast upon every continent like confetti at a there's a reason for this stuff. This guy's I'm already getting annoyed. Cast upon every continent like confetti at a wedding. Everyone knows eventually is going fail. He means going to fail. And wind up. I'm not even reading this freaking out. This guy is not even writing correct English, and it's disgusting propaganda. It's not so much I'll read an article that's against my beliefs, But when, like, you know, you're writing things like, and it's going fail, and like all the other, and the other example I gave you, those are the first two sentences. Both sentences didn't make no sense. Alright, what's up, chat? How are we doing, chat? I know there's a delay. Yes, exactly. The U.S. did hack Iran. We did. It's not like people say, you know, there was no response and all this stuff. Oh no, there was a response. That Thursday, which was the day that Trump had that story where, you know, 10 minutes before, and I'm not making fun of it, it's just, it is what it is. I mean, it's a story that was put together by the government that, you know, kind of sent a good message, and that's it. You know what I mean? That's it. They decided not to go after them in that way, but they had already taken down not their grid necessarily, but they took down their, like, cyber grid. They took down their defense systems. They took down some of their missiles. We cyber attacked them out of them. And he's talking about 150 deaths. I'll tell you right now, they would rather have 150 of their soldiers die. And that's true. I mean, this is a country, you know, that believes in jihad and, you know, like dying, and 72 virgins. I mean, who wants 72 virgins? That sounds like a headache to me. But anyways, I'll take one, and, you know, I don't even want to start being corny. Alright, so, but seriously, so we did launch a major cyber attack against them that was extremely successful. Had we went to go bomb them, I can tell you that they were not going to be shooting us down. Not those types of planes. Not with the type of defense that would be with them. Oh no. Now, Russia, I don't know, it depends. Would Russia scramble some jets? I don't know. Would China? I don't know. I think they would let us kind of, I don't think so. I think they'd scramble some, but do it in a way where it's not so aggressive that the U.S. takes it as this is a dogfight. Because, you know, back in the day, it was literally like you were like flying around each other, trying to gain position and get behind the other plane. You would do all these kind of, like a roll, and do all these kind of cool maneuvers. Whereas today, you are at sonic speed, just flying. And I mean, this has been even since the early 90s. You know what I mean? I don't even, who even knows what these things are doing now? Because I don't. A lot of them are stealth. You don't even know they're there. And it's like, these things are like tens and tens and tens of miles away. And all of a sudden, you see a missile is locked onto you and you're dead. I mean, that's the way dogfights are fought nowadays. Do we have a caller? What's going on? No, is Drop here? It's okay if nobody wants to call. I don't want to force anyone to call. It's just, I don't know why. I just kind of expected like a lot of calls. It's a lot of interesting material. Alright, so just give me 1 second, guys, okay? You guys want to hear this? Actually, instead.
I, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, do solemnly swear
that you will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
And will to the best
I'm just going to grab a drink, by the way. So if anybody wants to call in, call. I figured I would play this while I go to get something to drink.
Preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution Constitution of the United States.
We are not done by a long shot. If nobody calls, I got a bunch of intel we can jump into.
Vice President Johnson, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chief Justice, President Eisenhower, Vice President Nixon, President Truman, Reverend clergy, fellow citizens. We observe today not a victory of party, but a celebration of freedom, symbolizing an end as well as a beginning, signifying renewal as well as change. For I have sworn before you and Almighty God the same solemn oath our forebears prescribed nearly a century and 3/4 ago. The world is very different now, for man holds in his mortal hands the power to abolish all forms of human poverty and all forms of human life. And yet the same revolutionary beliefs for which our forebears fought are still at issue around the globe. The belief that the rights of man come not from the generosity of the state, but from the hand of God. We dare not forget today that we are the heirs of that first revolution. Let the word go forth from this time and place to friend and foe alike that the torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans born in this century, tempered by war, disciplined by a hard and bitter peace, proud of our ancient heritage, and unwilling to witness or permit the slow undoing of those human rights to which this nation has always been committed and to which we are committed today at home and around the world. Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe to assure the survival and the success of liberty. This much we pledge and more. To those old allies whose cultural and spiritual origins we share, we pledge the loyalty of faithful friends. United, there is little we cannot do in a host of cooperative ventures. Divided, there is little we can do, for we dare not meet a powerful challenge at odds and split asunder. To those new states whom we welcome to the ranks of the free, we pledge our word that one form of colonial control shall not have passed away merely to be replaced by a far more iron tyranny. We shall not always expect to find them supporting our view, but we shall always hope to find them strongly supporting their own freedom, and to remember that in the past, those who foolishly sought power by riding the back of the tiger ended up inside. To those people in the huts and villages of half the globe struggling to break the bonds of mass misery, we pledge our best efforts to help them help themselves for whatever period is required, not because the communists may be doing it, not because we seek their votes, but because it is right. If a free society cannot help the many who are poor, it cannot save the few who are rich. To our sister republics south of our border, we offer a special pledge to convert our good words into good deeds, in a new alliance for progress, to assist free men and free governments in casting off the chains of poverty. But this peaceful revolution of hope cannot become the prey of hostile powers. Let all our neighbors know that we shall join with them to oppose aggression or subversion anywhere in the Americas. And let every other power know that this hemisphere intends to remain the master of its own house. To that World Assembly of Sovereign States, the United Nations, our last best hope, in an age where the instruments of war have far outpaced the instruments of peace, we renew our pledge of support to prevent it from becoming merely a forum for invective, to strengthen its shield of the new and the weak, and to enlarge the area in which its writ may run. Finally, to those nations who would make themselves our adversary, we offer not a pledge, but a request that both sides begin anew the quest for peace. Before the dark powers of destruction, unleashed by science, engulf all humanity in planned or accidental self-destruction, we dare not tempt them with weakness, for only when our arms are sufficient beyond doubt can we be certain beyond doubt that they will never be employed. But neither can two great and powerful groups of nations take comfort from our present course, both sides overburdened by the cost of modern weapons, both rightly alarmed by the steady spread of the deadly atom, yet both racing to alter that uncertain balance of terror that stays the hand of mankind's final war. So let us begin anew.
All right, so based on some of the news that I've been reporting these last 2 days, including tonight, I want to know, like, basically, you guys don't have to call in with. I mean, you guys can call in with some intel. That's great, but you know, I'm kind of trying to get a pulse on this. You know, I want to know, like, are people as outraged as me? Are they more understanding? Are they kind of neutral? Do they think it's part of a bigger plan? I'm very interested to hear. You know, that's why usually I've had 3 calls by now, but just making sure my phone is all set. Yeah, it's all set. I haven't missed any calls. Yeah, I haven't missed any calls. For instance, right now, Kellyanne, try to call me. Please. I don't mean to say it like that, but if you could please try to call me, Kellyanne, Miss. This hat's blowing. Although I should never, ever, ever treat my hat in such a way. By the way, that's NSGA Kania. Amazing base. This is declassified, so it's it used to be a hangar in the 40s during World War II. Yeah, if Kellyanne, if you can just call me, just so just to make sure that everything's working right over here. But yeah, this is NSGA Kania. It no longer exists. It is now NSGA Hawaii. When I was in, they had NSGA Kania, which was the bigger base. It's kind of like they called it like the Pride of the Pacific, which is what it says on this hat. This hat says the Pride of the Pacific, NSGA Kania, Hawaii. It was actually located like in the ghetto. If anybody is from the Army, if you know Schofield Barracks or have been to Schofield Barracks, while you guys would run the perimeter of the fence at Schofield, we would see you guys, and 9 out of 10 Army guys I talked to, they say, "What? No, there was no top secret facility next door." They just didn't know. But then they'll be like 1 out of 10 who's like, "You know what? I did notice there was like a random, and we could, with Navy uniforms. Although it wasn't just Navy, it was a joint operation. There was Navy, there was Army, there was Air Force, there was Marines. Although Marines are part of the Navy." I know the Marines hate to hear that. I just joke around. Because Marines, I understand why the Marines are part of the Navy, because, tactically, but as far as like being their own thing, the Marines have earned it in every way. I mean, in World War II, the Japanese, we cut their communications long before they surrendered. And surrendered is actually a very loose term, because surrendering to them was holding a grenade and going like this. Huddling up with the grenade and blowing yourself up. And for the ones who didn't do that, they would just fight to the last man. And we're talking 10,000 Japanese dug in. It's like, although they lost because we dropped the 2 atomic bombs on them, of course, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Sometimes my brain stops working. So anyway, so had it not been for those two, the last battle we had, that is the most unspoken of battle, was Okinawa. Now I've been to Okinawa. When I was doing a tour, I was in Hawaii. I was in an underground base. First, let me tell you about the base. So right outside Schofield Barracks, right next to it. I'm gonna pull up the chat, just so I can see what's going on. Yeah. Like, what's up? What do you mean it goes to voicemail? What? Really? I'm not saying you're lying, but that makes no sense. And it's this number that I'm putting right here. Are they blocked? I mean, for those of you who were with us last night, right? You saw them messing with me, right? Are they blocking calls from coming in because we're above the target? Okay. You know what? I'll do it this way then. drop, is it okay to call you? Yes or no? Is it okay to call? Because I'm telling you, I haven't received a call. Not one. I've been sitting here talking. The volume's all the way up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what Einstein's mom. I was one step ahead of you. But I gotta admit, Einstein's mom, that's a great name for you, because I gotta say, I've been noticing you lately. You are very intelligent. You were always on the ball. Always on the ball. You know, like, you get it. As soon as my mind said, hey, well, I'll just call him. Okay, I'll call you. I just want to make sure I don't call the wrong person. I'm pretty sure I know which one is him. I'm not going to say his name, because it's pretty fucking obvious that I am being censored in every fucking way possible. And I don't care if I swear anymore. Because that's why I'm starting to let loose. Because you know what? Yeah, you texted and voicemailed? Well, there's no calls, I'll tell you that much. Voicemail, yep, I got a voicemail. I got a voicemail from Kellyanne, but no call. Holy shit. So my phone works. I'm telling you, they've been attacking me ever since last night. They've been attacking me. This is unbelievable. Last I checked, I'm an American citizen. Alright? I just want to talk about our safety. Because right now it seems like the world is aligning against us. Yes, okay. I'm not talking to the audience. I'm talking to the people who are censoring me right now live. Because in order for you to censor my phone, that makes no sense. Because I just heard a voicemail from Kellyanne, yet there's no phone call. Let me show you guys. I mean, there is a phone call from Kellyanne, but that's at 11:26, and Kellyanne will tell you that we did talk earlier before the show. We were in prep for the show at 11:26. This is unbelievable. And look, ready? As far as like sound, full ringtone. Alright, so whoever is messing around, listen, I've had your job in the past. I used to do stuff like that too. Except I did it to the enemy. Yeah, once the Patriot Act passed, the waters got kind of muddy, but you pick and you choose your battles. You know what I mean? Like when I had to do it with America. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to you. Alright, when I had to do it, I would do it to somebody with it was a legit threat. Am I a legit threat? I'm a veteran. Okay? And I am talking about our sovereignty as a nation, for one, and how our sovereignty and how America first has hurt us, despite all the advantages that came along with it. And I don't appreciate you making it so that people can't call me. What if I had a family member right now that had an emergency? Huh? What would you do then? If you're blocking all my phone calls, what if I had a family member with an emergency right now? Fucking scumbag. No wonder the world is turning against us. Ugh. You know? And I love this country. Fuck, unbelievable. Listen, I will never disclose any classified intel ever. Ever, 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 ever. Last night, you guys fucked with all my streams, and you know, you didn't let me say what I wanted to say. But I got it out just enough that people got the message. And you guys didn't let me go live, and somehow when I restarted everything, I was able to go live again. And now you're making it so I can't receive phone calls? I pay my bills, so it ain't that. I just listened to my voicemail, and it was Kellyanne from a couple minutes ago. But yet there's no phone call. Find somebody else to fuck with, okay? I was a CTR, not linguist, R, as in collection. Leave me the fuck alone. Getting sick of this shit. Alright, drop. I'm gonna call you. If you could just put the first three. Well, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't even do that. I don't even know what's going on. This is like crazy. What happened last night was nuts, and now what's happening tonight, this is crazy as well. I'll find you, brother. You scumbags. And I'm not calling you, you know, I know you got a job to do. But please, pick somebody who's actually a threat. We're here, we're trying to help things, you know? We want to, you know, we want to know what's going on. Because it's just, you know, so, you know what? Keep blocking my calls. I'll just take care of it myself. Here I come, drop. Like, this is, you guys are watching live censorship, like, being censored. You guys are watching the shadow banning. And you guys are also watching, you know, cryptologists and people who work in this field fucking with phone lines. Drop is on the line right now. Hi, this is the Red Pill Dispensary. How you doing?
Hey, pretty good, man. How you doing?
Alright. How you doing, Drop?
Pretty good.
Can you believe this?
Yeah, I can.
None of that came up in none of these calls are coming up on my phone. And I was kind of like, wait, maybe, you know, there's something made that I put the wrong, you know, they dialing the wrong number. But at the same time,
I tried to call last night several times now.
that's what I mean. Like, we've talked a million. We've talked, one time we talked until 5 in the morning. You know what I mean? Like,
Right, but
about,
if you have network problems too, you never know that, you know.
but I'm not. But I'm not. You know what I mean? I got a voicemail. It's just, see, I would think that. Like, honestly, that's what I would think. I'm having network problems. Except this is what I did in the Navy. So I know it's not. I know for a fact it's not network problems.
I wouldn't want to tell you what I could do.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I didn't have the. I didn't know how to do that type of stuff. But there's certain type of cryptos who do that kind of stuff, and then, you know, I was the type who listened and broke codes. You know.
Well, I've published for years that it was done from the impact on hackers overseas. You know what I'm saying?
Say that again. You know what? I want to make sure that everyone's hearing you. Okay, go ahead.
Well, that's more that you can hear me.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
That's probably 20 seconds away.
Okay. Alright, guys, do you hear him better? You know what? Say 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. So,
Alright, now if you don't mind, if you could just say 4, 5, 6.
4, 5, 6.
Alright, you guys let me know. Was 1, 2, 3 or 4, 5, 6 better?
I'm probably gonna have to.
Because there's two different speakers. I just want to know which speaker is better. So he said 1, 2, 3, and then he said 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3 is better? Okay, got it.
You know, Matt, in the future you can use Zoom for for 40 minutes per call. So
Yeah, I
Well,
mean, this is just fine. Some people are saying 4, 5, 6. Other people are being funny. You know what? Actually, so is it 1, 2, 3 or 4, 5, 6, guys? I'm getting like a split. You know what?
So
Go ahead, Doc.
we're done with being screwed with tonight, I guess. Until I say something bad. You know, can you hear me?
I can. I can.
Okay. So we all know that there's two different cabals, right? There's the K cabal and the I cabal.
Yes. Do you want to go any further into that? Because let's be honest, the audience has no idea what you're saying when you say that. 302. There's a 302 area code. You're next. If you just do me a favor, just wait until after this call, and then I will call you. So 302 area code is next.
Yeah, I was going to say one thing, Matt. Why don't you just get a burner phone so you can do the number every once in a while, get yourself a Verizon prepaid.
This is a
You
burner.
can just change. Yeah, well, yeah, another burner.
Well, it's not a legit burner. I don't want to give too much information, but it could be thrown away tomorrow and mean nothing.
Yeah.
And then, but I would keep the phone number because the 5555. You know what I mean? That's a good number, and so I used to use it for business. You know, but yeah, it's basically a throwaway phone.
Yeah. Well,
This isn't the call my mom. This isn't the phone my mom calls me on. Let's just say that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't care if they got my number anyway, so everybody else has got it. I've had good old spam calls. And I have a burner phone too, you know. But one thing I was going to say, we know that countries are federal corporations, correct?
Our country
Well, all countries are corporations.
and the EU. Yeah, I mean, yeah, basically all nowadays. Yeah.
Well, here's my whole point. Let me kind of finish this through for you and make a comment. So
I just want to say, do you think is Iran? I don't think so.
Well, no. What I think is that every country is really a corporation. Then you have a group of corporations that form an I and a K cabal, the major ones. And what happens when you let's take Brooklyn or Bronx for instance. If you're a criminal gang and you run the place, and there's another criminal gang that wants to come in and do something, what do? They go to war, right?
Yes, sir.
Because you cannot get rid of one. You can't take control of anything unless you get rid of the other criminal gang. That's my whole point.
Yeah.
So we got one criminal gang taking over and kicking the other criminal gangs' butts, and therefore they're fighting back any way they can now. Now, if you look at John Claude Juncker, now have you ever typed in EU presidents?
Well, that you saw what I was trying to do. I was trying to get to the bottom line. Like, who made this decision? You know?
Right. But look at EU presidents.
Do you want me to look at it right now?
Yeah, should look at it.
Let's do it.
So go to list of EU presidents list, or list of EU presidents.
Got it.
On Wikipedia.
Got it.
Okay. So now you see the John Claude Juncker over there in Luxembourg, right?
One sec. I type one here. It's coming up. List of presidents of the Institute of the European Union. Okay. Everything's coming up Wikipedia, so we'll go with that. List of presidents of the Institutes of the European Union.
Just
President of the European Commission, President of the European Union. This is list the presidents of the institutions of the European Union. That sounds like what you're looking for.
No, just type in EU presidents, and it'll be list of presidents.
So president.
Yeah, that one works too. Go ahead and click that one.
The head of the European Commission, the executive branch of the European.
Just do president of the European Unions.
Yeah, that's
His name
right.
is Jean-Claude Juncker.
Yeah, that's who we were looking at. I got him right here. As of
Okay.
2019, the current president is Jean-Claude Juncker. Here's the junk bag. Juncker the junk bag.
Right.
He's
But
from
here's the whole
he's
point.
Luxembourgish politician
Yeah.
serving as
Luxembourg.
president. Go ahead, drop.
Yeah, in Luxembourg, and so he's actually the seat of power of the unelected bureaucrats that run the European Union. All the leaders of the nations of like France and Germany and stuff, they're just puppets. They have no power.
So as far as like we're talking Merkel, Macron. I was thinking Macron had something to do with this, and Merkel.
They're just puppets of the
I agree.
cabal.
I agree, but I think that they're like totally willing to play ball. You know what I mean?
Well, they don't have any choice. They have no power, really, to be honest with you. The European Union took over a while back. But
Because they are corporations.
Yeah, it's a group of corporations fighting with another corporation, and Trump has his group of corporations,
Yep.
the two cabals.
Yep. Gotcha.
So,
Makes sense. Makes
I'm
total
gonna
sense.
give you a little history lesson now, okay?
Oh, I love these. Okay, let's do it.
You know, the people on the YouTube keep talking about the Tartarians, right?
Say that again. The what?
The Tartarians. What happened to the Tartarian Empire?
You tell me.
Well, there used to be a country that ruled Europe and most of the Asia and Europe and stuff like that. Its name was Prussia. You ever heard of Prussia?
Of course.
That's the Tartarians.
Yeah, oh, okay. I was like, I never heard of the Tartarian. And I consider myself to be a semi-history buff, and I was like, Tartarian. But yeah, the Prussians, yes, they ruled big time.
For 500 years in Europe, and they were actually another name for them would be the Tartarians, and that's a buzzword that people use on YouTube. Not just sitting there going, I already know about this, and now they're using a different word for the Russian, the Prussians. It's called Tartarians.
I never heard that before. That's I just learned something. I'm telling you, drop. They don't call them drop for nothing. But so Tartarian. Tartarian. Am I saying it right? Tartarian.
Yeah, Tartarians.
That's basically the Prussians. Yeah, because I know all about the Prussians.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so that seat of power just moved over there to Luxembourg after the Prussian Empire collapsed.
So that moved over where?
It's been that way ever since. Ever since the Prussian Empire collapsed, the seat of power has been in Luxembourg, and where do you see the European Union? Right there, right?
Yeah.
And we all know that, well, we should know through history and stuff, that the Nazis and stuff were supported by these criminals over in Luxembourg.
Yes, Luxembourg is one of those places where there's always been power there. Always.
We're running over the same old story. Struggle for power between two different cabals. It hasn't changed. And right now they're getting their butts kicked. And so, of course, they're going to fight back. And they're not going to go with the terrorists of Iran because they're with Iran. That's part of one of their corporations. Even though the money and what's countries it?
I mean, there's a map here, drop, and Prussia in blue at its height as the leading state of the German Empire. I mean,
if you scroll down a little bit, Matt, you'll see that little blue map over there off to the right.
That's what I'm talking. This right here. I don't know if with some of the delay.
That's
That's
the
what I'm talking
Tartarian Empire that
That's what I'm
everybody
saying.
talks about on YouTube.
Yeah, it's basically all of Europe. Well, not all, but most of Europe, and then going all the way. I don't know what's up to these little pockets here, but then it goes all the way into Russia. I mean, wow, that's a lot of land. And then a little blue down here as well. What's that, like the Czech Republic or something?
Yeah,
But
some of those yellow areas.
modern day
drove
Czech
that at
Republic.
one time too.
Yeah. Wow.
So I heard this buzzword on YouTube about the Tartarians, and actually Tartarians are a part of the Prussian Empire, but everybody's going like, well, this is something new and a new buzzword and stuff like that. I'm like, no, this is not new history. It's been forgotten. This is the Prussian Empire.
Yeah.
So people don't really understand that. And, everybody loves to.
Do you think that the Germans losing both world wars has anything to do with, how they say, like, the victors of war, they kind of write the history. Maybe, the fact that the Germans lost both world wars, it kind of suppressed the knowledge of the history of the Prussian Empire.
Well, you can go back even farther than that. You'll find out the Polish Empire was much bigger, and it was part of the Prussian Empire. So, go back even further.
I see. I thought you were going to talk about the Ottoman Empire, being Turkey and, Iran.
Oh, that was back in 1890. Yeah.
That's pretty... That's pretty recent,
Yeah, well, most people don't know that the Ottoman Empire actually controlled Sweden for 200 years.
Oh yeah, the Ottoman Empire was huge.
Yeah, exactly.
And Turkey, they're not some pushover country either. That's why when they bought the S-400 instead of the Patriot or the THAAD missile defense system, I was just like, what? And that's when Trump said, you know what? He threatened them with sanctions, and they still went with the S-400.
Yeah, he explained that in an interview yesterday.
Did he?
At the G20 summit. Yes, and he said, look, Obama wouldn't sell it to him, and so he made a deal a long time ago to get the S-400s. And actually, there's actually a thing where Erdogan is actually thinking about developing the S-500 in Turkey and building them there too.
S-500? I'd never even heard of.
Yeah, I wrote out an article maybe about a week or two ago.
So they're already, because I know that Russia just recently were doing some war games, and they shot off some missiles from the S-300. So I'm like, wow, this S-400 must be state of the art. The fact that we're talking S-500.
S-500 coming up, yeah.
Wow.
And Turkey was talking about it in an article about actually building the S-500 in Turkey as well and coordinating with the Russians, and that's why the F-35s have been pulled.
Is the S-400 actually, does it have anything to do with, like, is it actually more sufficient than the
Patriot?
It might be more sufficient than the Patriot, but the THAAD, the THAAD.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But one thing I was going to say is that we have the S2, 3, and 6 on the most of our ships. That's no secret, right?
Well, yeah. There's other stuff as well. Yeah, I know.
Right.
I just didn't want to. With my clearance, I had to be careful. Yeah, but you can say whatever you want.
Well, probably not really.
Yeah, I know. Kind of. Yeah. Oh yeah, look, S-500 missile system.
It's common knowledge, and it's on the internet, so I didn't disclose anything. But
hey, buddy.
I can tell you.
You see that? Yes. The S-500 missile system. I got it right on the screen right now.
Yeah, exactly, and I did
that
a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
And just do Turkey, and you'll find Erdogan stuff on that saying that the president of Colombia. You can just go to my channel and play the video or whatever.
And by the way, drop his channel. It's just like it sounds. It's drop. Excuse my accent. I'm gonna minimize my accent. D-R-O-P. Drop. Like, drop in truth. He makes his videos are great. And what he does is he drops knowledge. And, I think it's a very fitting name for his channel. Anybody who's not subscribed to Drop, you're missing out. And I'm not just saying that because, I like him and he's a buddy and he's a fellow vet and all that. It's just, this guy, if you haven't realized already, the proof's in the pudding here. This guy knows what he's talking about. He was just talking about how the S-500 has a lot to do with Turkey, and if you read what's on your screen right now, you'll see Turkey all over the place. So.
Yeah, and like the Sky Team messages and stuff like that, I knew where to monitor that because my father, when he worked for the government, he worked for the FAA, but he was also a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was in charge of a treasury plane at a certain time in our life, and we turned the call. If you got a call on the phone, because back then you didn't have the internet. If you got a call and he had to fly out right away, we were to head to the mountains. So,
the whole family?
The mountains.
Him or the whole family?
Oh, he was in command of a treasury plane. That's what he would be boarding.
That means the whole family had to go then. To at least somewhere, maybe not there, but.
Yeah, well, we got a heads up, it's time to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, like they wouldn't leave you where you were, is what I'm saying.
Exactly. We knew what it was, and so the striking message was something that I know about because I lived it as a child.
And I've heard a lot about, I've been hearing about all of a sudden Sky King messages have been kind of like, all the rage on YouTube lately. But I know
we had 2 or 3 yesterday, I believe.
Yeah. I keep track of them as well. And you know what? The thing is, I with doing what I did as a cryptologist in collection, and working on all different types of frequencies, whether it be very low, high frequency, just from like very low all the way to high, very high, what's it called? Ultra high frequency.
The OF stuff.
Yeah. I don't want to get into too much of that.
We know about the stuff in New Mexico.
Yeah, but but all I want to say is that it's been misrepresented on YouTube a little bit. And understandably so, but people think they understand exactly what the Sky King is, yet it does matter sometimes in grave times how many and how they are said and things like that. However, there's a lot of people that are trying to kind of figure out Sky King messages, and they've been, from what I've heard, they don't really have a grasp on the Sky King messages.
Well, you know what, guys?
I know that for a fact.
Man, I got a message for somebody. Okay, just give me a moment to say this, guys. I know you're monitoring the phone because I can hear the high pitch. Because in this ear that I'm talking to, I can hear up to 47K. I can hear. Okay, so that's for our friends listening. Sorry.
It could be on my end with all the weirdness.
No, I can hear it. I can hear it. I have one of my ears. I can hear very low frequency and a very high frequency. So I can hear all the way down to like 8 hertz, and I can hear 0.7K or higher.
Then you're right. Yeah, it's on your end then.
Yeah. Well, they're monitoring.
That's what I did. Yeah, they're probably monitoring me, and then they're hearing that what you're talking about, and then they're monitoring you, or they might be monitoring you anyways. I don't know.
Anyway, man, I did a video on Sky King and the HF. reaction messages. And so that hopefully cleared a lot of things up for people, and they didn't sense.
Oh, great! So you did. Okay.
Yeah, there's a video on it. There's like 4,000 plus hits or something like that.
Oh, that's it. Anyone listening
Or
to
maybe
this,
2,000. I can't remember.
whether you're listening live or most of you will be listening later tomorrow, check out Drop. What's the name of the video with the Sky King?
I believe it's Sky King HF, whatever thing.
How long ago did you upload?
Oh, maybe a week or two. Yeah.
Alright, so like a week or two ago. You know, no
That's when we
longer
got all
than
the
that.
time Sky King messages, and everybody was freaking out. They didn't know what the hell they were talking about.
Yeah, that's the
So I
thing.
decided to do a video on it.
That's what I said. I was telling all kinds of people. I'm like, listen, they don't really understand what they don't have a grasp of the Sky King and what it's all about, and so you know it's kind of like spreading fear when it's not needed.
Yeah, they were fear porn is what a lot of people are spreading. They don't really know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
So, I'll just paste this and they can search for this in the chat. And thank you, Kellyanne, for dropping my link in there. I'm not trying to promote, but I'm just...
Kellyanne, no. But you know what? In certain situations like this, when so many people have been misled to think, oh, it's the it's how many Sky Kings and you know how many in a day, and I mean, if it was as simple as that, really, you think that's the
Well,
best?
it could just be the president flying over a certain area, too.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, like right now
we
with
got
him on the
yesterday, he was flying through Asia, so...
exactly, he's on the road right now, so there's going to be a lot of Sky Kings. But as far as like figuring out Sky Kings that really matter, you know, I can't really say much more than that. But you know what I mean? The people, like, I bet you there's going to be all this rage about Sky Kings, when in reality...
There was over 200 Sky Kings, I believe, during 9/11. Okay?
No, that's, yeah, that's something right there.
Reason for that.
Yeah, that's when you know. That's an obvious one right there.
Right. So, but, you know, as far as the, you know, you're looking at the Tartarian Empire, what people call that now, but it's really the Prussian Empire. It moved to Luxembourg, and so we have kind of a couple cabals fighting it out, and, you know, we got two gangs fighting for the same territory. One wants to control the world economy, and one's going to win and one's going to lose. So, all point tonight, sorry, I take shower. You know, actually, what I did today was I dug out a 14-foot by 20-foot thing, so I could pour a slab and, you know, run the moisture barrier, put the gravel down, run the rebar, so I could pour a slab, because I'm making a shop, greenhouse, you know,
I got
storage
you.
shed thing.
Roger that.
And I don't want to pay somebody $3,500 to pour a stupid slab when I can do it for $1,200 myself.
Yeah, some doofus. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. And
I'm the same way.
I'm in my mid-50s, and so I'm out there shoveling dirt by myself and all that crap. And I'm kind of tired because I don't do a lot of physical work anymore. So.
Well, you know what? Like it says in the Bible, you know, sometimes like some hard labor it does the soul good. You know? It doesn't exactly say that word for word in the Bible, let me just make that clear. But, you know, it does say something about, you know, as far as like, you know, a day's work.
Well, physical labor, because I don't get to do a lot of it during the wintertime, you know what I'm saying? It's cold out.
Yeah.
We had 30 inches of snow last year, you know, which in this area was kind of unusual, you know. So, it didn't do that since 96, so...
I got something up right now, dropped. I bet you.
Anyway, if people want to monitor Sky King messages and stuff like that, and EAM messages, I hope I said that right. EAM. Okay, yeah, because usually I reverse the letters because I'm dyslexic. So, unfortunately.
I do that too, but I've never been diagnosed.
I teach myself how to read. In fact, when We're Perfect came along, way back when, and that's when I learned how to spell, because I just sit there and type it in to be correct.
Hey, Drop.
Kind of visualize the pattern.
I don't know what the delay is, but do you see what's up on my screen with the two guys? and the coat of arms.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you see anything that sticks out? Look at that. Look at the goat with his tongue out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely.
This is the. This is
You'll see
the.
that civilization.
It's the coat of arms of Prussia, and all the territories of Prussia.
Yeah.
I wonder
And
which
you'll
one
also-
is the goat with the tongue out.
Yeah. But you'll see that throughout history, even back to the days of Cain. Okay? You'll see that kind of symbolism.
The phoenix down
the
here.
two same dudes standing next to each other on the side of the shield. You'll see that back to the days of Cain and Abel. Because Cain's descendants inherited the earth because they were the favorites of the god Satan.
Yeah. Yeah. Lowercase g. Yeah.
Yep, lowercase g. But if you
Even looks like a
want to
gamer.
monitor Sky King messages, they can go to number stations. So if you type in number stations,
is number plural or no?
that's what?
Is number plural?
Yes, numbers.
Okay, number
as an S.
station.
Stations as an S.
Alright, but they're both plural. Okay.
So if you type in number stations, you'll see where they can go monitor that. But yeah, I mean, and you'll see dragons, you'll see goats, and you'll see all kinds of symbolisms of ISIS. And all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff.
A lot of lions, it almost looks like the Lannisters. I guess
Yeah,
you
like
never
Game of
seen
Thrones.
Game. Oh, okay. I didn't know if you had.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I love that
Yeah, I'm
show.
very keen on that. It's also a flat earther type of theme for the movie.
Actually, when you think of it, it is. You know?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Unless Arya
I watched it.
succeeds in the finale, spoiler alert, after the fact. Okay,
Just
anyways.
type in number stations, all one word.
Yeah, I got it right here. So, number station.
I mean the actual website where they can actually go to the Discord and sign up for a
Okay,
month.
so is it numberstation.com?
I believe so. Numberstations.com, I believe. And there's a hyphen between numbers and stations.
Oh.
Well, you can just type it up on the URL or whatever. You can go to Wikipedia too. It'll tell you about it. You can just type in number stations, all one word. Put a hyphen between stations and numbers.
I put that wrong. I had to hit shift. But
Yeah, right there. Yeah, just put it in there, and you can just hit enter. You can or you can put just a hyphen. You don't need to put all the crap in there.
Yeah.
Just a dash, or whatever you want to call it. I can't remember what the hell they call it. Not a hyphen, not an underscore, but a dash.
A dash. Yeah, that's. I got thrown off.
No, yeah.
I'm trying to think.
No,
I was thinking there was something
it's just,
here.
it's not an underscore. It's not an underscore.
Yeah, I know. That's all delay. That was like 20 seconds ago.
sorry.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
No.
about
So, got it. Numbers. Station.
Anyway, if they go to my video, they can get the link there anyway. So.
Okay, that's good too.
Yeah. All you gotta do is click show more. I always show all of my sources, so you get all the links and stuff like that.
Alright, I got it right here.
Unless there is no source for it on the internet, then I'm just using those that I have.
So I got the number station up right now. Music radio online, make your own radio station, listen to the radio online, live radio online, best internet radio, listen to music online, new music album releases. However, I have a feeling it's down the bottom. Let's see, relay links, listen to radio online. No, I guess it would be the radio online, but I could search Sky King. I don't know. If you know What's the best way?
No, you don't have it correct.
I
It's
don't?
numbers/stations.com. I'll put the thing without the .com in there in the chat.
I didn't have stations plural. That's from. Here we
Yeah,
go.
you didn't put an S on the end of station.
I got
You
it.
gotta make it.
Research and Information Center. Next station in 16 minutes. Fall at Spy Stations. Yeah, this is it. Okay, so
Thank you, Killian, West Virginia. Prepared. Fine.
I don't have the chat up right now. Why? What did you say? What is it?
Yeah, there you go. Now you can sign up for the Discord and get alerts. You can actually join their Twitter, get alerts.
Wow.
I'm not going to hide any secrets from anybody, and I don't mind teaching people how to learn stuff. And I've never been anyone that's been threatened by, withholding information because I'm afraid somebody else could, be smarter than me. So.
Yeah. You don't have to, and
I don't have to. I don't want to, and I want everybody to be informed. And I think the best thing is that knowledge is power and truth. And the more people that are knowledgeable about things, the more truth can come out.
Exactly. There's so many people. They come across a gem, and they withhold it for themselves. And
they withhold the information, then they scare the crap out of people, and then they ask for money and blah blah blah.
A lot of people could use this, just this information.
If you really needed a computer to stream with, and you were desperate and down and broke and all that crap, I would donate at least $25 for it. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Instead of having you go and scan the shit out of people.
We haven't even got into the realm of what we're talking about as far as ransom minimum, talking about all the stuff flying around outside there in the universe and around the sun, Brian Knight would be a good resource.
Brian Knight, yeah. Brian Knight is a regular. I just haven't heard from you in a while. I love Brian Knight. We left off on something very interesting where we have a date that we're watching. I hate the date set. I think he hates the date set as well. But we're at least just kind of putting a little warning out there with a certain date. Just things might be. There might be. If nothing else, there's gonna be some abnormal weather. Let's put it that way.
It's one thing to be an ambulance chaser and go out there and spread the fear bomb, which I know you don't want to do because you're more analytic and you want to understand and you want to know why things are happening and why they're doing this and that. And my point is, I think that even if it's a little bit of disclosure, like most of the stuff I do, because some of the stuff I know that I'm not going to tell anybody because others, I don't know, probably just scared them all, stuff.
Well, anything that puts you or your you keep that.
Right, but my point is that I want people to actually wake up.
Yeah. So you guys see this? So for everybody that's been hearing about Sky Kings but not really knowing about them, this is where you want to be. You can learn a lot here. Let's see. So we got Morse code. Do you know Morse code, Drop?
And there's a link in there where they can read it themselves. So.
Oh, there is. So that's what I was looking for.
And all they got to do is click to show more on my video, and they can actually just go ahead and click.
On your video. Okay, so on Drop's video, you can. I thought you meant on the website here.
In all my videos, and I'm actually on BitChute now, and I'm going to be on Steemit and DLive very soon.
Nice. DLive, I was thinking about going. Everybody's telling me to go over to DLive, but
if you go to DLive,
Steemit.
If you go to DLive, Matt, if you go to DLive, what you need to do is sign up for Steemit first. Then you can. There's 13 platforms you can post on.
Gotcha. Because I kind of have a sailor's mouth on me, and they just think that I'd probably be better off in some ways. Let's see.
Well, I I drop some of the truth, and then it gets buried under YouTube. So.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna promote you. Every single one of my videos, like this video for sure. It's what happens is they don't monetize it, and then because it's not monetized, they don't promote it, and then I challenge it, and I always win. Every single time I win, but it's like 3 days later, and by then everybody's already viewed it. So, you don't get any credit for any of those views as far as monetization.
I honestly don't monetize anything.
And it only is promoted if it's monetized. So not only do I not get credit for the monetization, but also, which I don't really care about, the bigger thing to me is that it doesn't go out to a larger audience because it's not monetized for those 3 days while I'm challenging.
That's the part that bothers me, because I don't want to have every 90 days get a stupid 1099 have to file with the IRS. Because I already have to file with the IRS like every 2 or 3 years anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care about the money, because I actually would rather not with that either. Something like Super Chat, I would invite something like that. But as far as like the ad revenue, it's too much to it. I'd rather. But then again, the good thing about ad revenue, if they don't shut it down right away, is that's how your channel is promoted. Kind of like how you hit home, and you might like get a channel that is small. Well, that's a channel that's kind of being careful and following their rules, or who knows,
Oh yeah, and I've got a couple of videos that are about to hit 5,000 on the viewership, and
nice, really? Wow.
I got about 12 that are about ready that are gonna be in the 1,000 or higher, up to 5K.
Oh, good. And, well, they can't hide you much longer, to be honest with you.
They can't hide me anyway. I know their algorithms. I can defeat.
But you know what I mean, though. As far as like, if you're hitting 5,000, then yeah. So,
well, I was doing search engine optimization and search engine marketing before they even offered degrees in the internet. So, I can beat their algorithms any day I want to, just by using the right keywords, the right, hashtags and stuff like that. They can't. I'm like a computer sometimes. I've done it, been in the business for a long time. In fact, in the internet, I am a person that you would not want to piss off, because I could actually bury you and burn you.
Yeah.
So,
and that's a message also to some of the people who have been fucking with me. I've never actually requested help, because I would never, kind of ask someone to fight my battles. I'm just not that type. But you know what I mean?
I'm talking about burning their algorithms and actually coming up with search results I want. I mean, for a while, this kayaking video I did came up on Google on the first page.
Huh.
And
wow.
I know their algorithms.
Wow, really?
They keep changing the shit, and
that's crazy. And then, like the next day they changed it, you'd have to figure it out. Like that. But for that day, that's amazing.
SEO and search engine optimization and search engine marketing is a full-time gig. And that's not what I do, though. I actually I work for marketing companies that do all this shit, but I have to understand the mechanics of it, even today. And so what I do is, mostly I control the servers, I control the security, of course, right? Like if I told you could get a Fortinet D60, DD60 or whatever, and put it on your system at home, you get a hardware and you get a software interface, and everybody's coming in and out, you track the crap out of them. And it's like $140.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, and Fortinet is a good firewall, and it's one of the best.
Oh yeah,
a few clients, outfits.
Huh.
So you might be interested in that, but as far as the internet, I used to be a hacker when I was a kid, and we used to send messages and stuff like that back and forth before Anon and Q and all that stuff, and the 4chan and 8chan came along. We used to send messages through the snail mail, okay, and information, all that junk. So feel like I'm a newbie to like exposing the government.
Oh yeah,
and
you're like a OG.
Yeah, I'm probably like an OG. I mean,
Yeah.
I glance at 8chan once in a while. I'm like, yeah, shit, man, like it's probably bullshit, you know. And then I have friends that I grew up with, and I communicate with them once in a while. And you know, they kind of call me sometimes when they're starting heads up, you know. So, but the whole thing is that there's a lot of analyst chasers on the internet, and it's good to see somebody like you that wants to know the truth, break it down analytically, and not make it a you know, another clickbait thing. You know?
Yeah, not like sensationalize it and cheapen
Right.
it. Yeah, yeah, that's
Right.
what I'm all about. Presenting the facts, and
Right, well, they just
I get worked up. I get worked up, but only over the facts, and that's all I'm after, the facts. You know, I could easily write some fear porn crap in there and scare a bunch of, you know, older people, and you know, it's just it bothers me when I see it, to be honest with you.
Right. It bothers the heck out of me too, because they're being disingenuous and they're not actually building the channel based
Yeah.
on knowledge and stuff like that.
And you got to think about the people who know nothing about anything, and they just see these titles and they click on it, and it's like, you have 2 weeks, and it's like, you know, it's just I can't stand that type of shit. Goes right
Well,
to me.
I don't want to talk bad about anybody because I think he's coming around.
I'm not referring to anyone in particular. It's just stuff that I've seen throughout years and years and years of the internet, but more so lately, you know. I'm not talking about anyone in particular. It's just you know, it's just
Yeah, what I think people do need to do though is they do need to prep, and you know,
I agree. Yes.
And so we always prep. We always had 2 years worth of food in the house.
And it doesn't take much, you know, here and there.
Click the Add to Chrome button.
Oh,
then
sorry
click
about
Add
that.
extension to continue.
Alright.
You know, you can actually prep on a budget.
You're
And you
almost
can actually
done.
prep.
Click the Add to Chrome button. Then click
So,
Add
you know, it's not that hard to
extension
build up your food source. You know, and you got to think about a lot of things nowadays.
You're
Just
almost
think about
done.
prepping, but
Click the
the
Add to
biggest
Chrome
thing you
button.
need to do
Then
is
click Add extension
learn how to
to
prep for somebody
continue.
else.
Yeah.
You know, you need to kind of network with it. You can't be a lone
You're
wolf out there
almost
unless you're really super rich and
Add
you
to
have a
Chrome
nice,
button. Then
or
click
something.
Add
You want to
extension
just
to
go into a
continue.
pawn shelter in about 20 years. Yeah. So,
You're
that's what it
almost
is.
done. Click the Add
But
to
as
Chrome
far as
button.
the rest
Then
of the
click
stuff, you
Add
know,
extension to continue.
you know, there is some stuff in our
You're
solar
almost
system that should be there.
Click the Add to
Or
Chrome
actually
button.
comes by.
Then click Add
I don't know what that
extension
is.
to continue.
Sounds like you got something playing, a video.
No, you know what? I'm on the
Add to Chrome button. Then click Add extension to
I'm on the I'm sorry. I'm on the what's it called? Discord. And it was just like
You're almost done.
oh
Yeah, you
wait.
can sign up for the Discord, but if you post some bullshit on there, number stations will knock you off like crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm more a
You're
lurker,
almost done.
but
Click
it's
the
just
Add to Chrome button.
it's
then
just
click
being a
Add
pain in the
extension
ass. Hold on,
to
let me turn
continue.
this down.
You're almost done. Click the Add to Chrome button. Then click Add extension to continue. You're almost done.
Oh man.
Click the Add to
Alright.
Chrome button.
You know what, I'll always do this later. I already did it and it's still saying it. I don't know why. Alright, it
Well,
should
it's
be
kind of better not to do it on live stream.
yeah.
Then
We're
click
live
Add
people.
extension to continue.
Yeah,
Right.
it should
You
be
know,
done.
yesterday I checked and see if I could live stream when you had problems.
Click
And I had
Add to
no problem,
Chrome
but I
button.
did it
Then
privately,
click
so
Add
nobody saw
extension.
it.
You were the live stream?
Yeah, I was in live stream, but I did it in the private mode because
You're almost done.
I haven't set the private
Click
mode
the Add to Chrome button.
on
Then click
OBS
Add
or live
extension
stream,
to continue.
unless I change it over there in the YouTube account. So,
Yeah.
it
You're almost
records
done.
just fine and all that
Click
stuff.
the Add to
So,
Chrome button. Then click Add extension to continue. continue.
Well, let me get rid of this. This is unbelievable.
The reason why I don't live stream, Matt, mostly is because I'm too busy.
Yeah, I was wondering that. I don't really see the you
Add
live stream.
extension to continue.
Yeah, I could, and I could probably find out. I could probably come up with probably 100 different things you
You're
could
almost
actually
done.
live stream and
Click the
Oh, yeah.
subject
Then
to talk
click
about.
Add
But
extension to continue.
I mostly do the videos because I have a very interest in you know, all this stuff going on with the world. You know, it's been going on for a long time, so I'm not really concerned about it. You know, it is a big concern. You know, that we're fighting with Europe and we're fighting with the.
Oh yeah, Europe going behind our backs, and yeah, that concerns me greatly. I just, how could they do
Well,
that?
one thing I can tell everybody right now is that, have you seen the massive flooding in the Midwest? Because Sean has been reporting on that.
Oh yeah, I've been watching every single video with Shauna. I'm a huge supporter of Shauna. I will always, I love Shauna. When I first met her, she had known me from a hole in the wall. I didn't have a YouTube page. I didn't have anything, but I told her, you know, I have a 2-year-old little girl. At the time, she had just turned 2. I was like, you know, if shit did hit the fan, you know, what could I do for, like, comfort items? And she sent me, like, a whole page and all kinds of stuff about comfort items for a 2-year-old little girl that she put together herself with graphics. I mean, who does that for a stranger? You know, a total stranger. She didn't know I'd eventually.
That is vets that take care of each other and take care of other vets.
Yeah, I mean, vets take care of each other. That's really what it is. But still, you know,
That's the way you are. You know, you learn how to fight as a unit when you're in the military. You learn how to coordinate as a unit. You learn how to cooperate, even though you don't like the other person very much. So, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of people from Brooklyn and the Bronx, she didn't like you much. But then once you get to know them, you become good friends with them. You know?
Yeah, it's funny. It's like you totally don't click, but you're just around each other so much that you kind of just understand that's who they are, and you know, that's what you have to work with. And everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, and you get to know what people's strengths are. Try to, you know, accentuate their strengths, and you know, avoid their weaknesses, right?
Well, yeah, you know, it depends on, you know, it's different for the military, but it's, you know, it doesn't matter if you're in a squad, a division, like in the Army, whatever, or you're just a unit, or you're like, you know, fire control in the Navy, or you're in, you know, data, or you're in, you know, the corpsman or whatever, you know. If they're the snipes or whatever, you know what I'm saying, you have your division, you work together, and then you work together as a ship, because an entire ship can be taken down by one stupid idiot making a decision.
Oh yeah, that's why, like, you know, like, if you ever seen, like, Full Metal Jacket, tying the guy down, and they all do what they gotta do to him. That happens on ships all the time. In fact, I probably shouldn't even say it, but let's just say that, you know, sometimes there's man over. Sometimes there's.
One time at the range, and they made a call off the range at gunpoint.
Wow.
That shit does happen. You know, they're serious about the shit. You know.
Yeah, and sometimes there's man overboard drills, and more than there should be. You know.
Well, yeah, there's been a few thrown off the ship, but there's.
That's more Old Navy. It's so funny. When I joined, it was big. It was like there was a lot of Old Navy, and then there's New Navy. You know, the New Navy, you know, it's everything's by the book. The Old Navy, it's more like what's practical. You know. And,
well, you know,
and some of these guys were salty.
Off and you were a dead link and all this stuff. You just disappeared outside the ship.
Exactly.
That's all there was to it.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, they would give you a chance to get out, to leave, but you know what? If you wouldn't do something, or you know, go to sick bay and do something where, you know, you leave or something. I mean, they'll
put you off a ship. They'll put you off a.
Oh yeah.
You know.
If you refuse to leave, you might be doing a splash.
If you went into your intel
You might drop.
every day in your tunnel, and you were shit faced and drunk every time, you would have been gone within a week or two.
Well, it depends. It depends. If you're in Australia, that's a totally different thing. You come on, and even if it's an officer, it's what they say is, permission to board the patio daddy-o. That's what they would say. That's what we would say in Australia. And I forget what the officer would say back.
Well, I've
But
got two officers that were too drunk to actually be on duty, and they couldn't actually,
yeah, Australia was just like, for some reason, it's like all rules are off in Australia. And then Greece is another big one. The absinthe. Although now they test you for it. The absinthe.
I don't know. It's been years.
It's a drink. It's an alcoholic drink, and it's huge in Greece and legal there, but it actually makes you kind of like trip. You ever hear
Well,
that?
I actually just know that officers back then, if they were shit faced and reported duty, and if they did that too many times, they were gone. They were off.
Oh, especially an officer. Oh yeah.
Station. Yeah.
Yeah, officers
And-
they can't. That's not a good look.
Yeah, if they can't stand their watch as OD officer at the deck, then they're gone. They're off the ship, they're off the duty station, whatever.
Alright, so I'm looking at chat. Let's see, chat. What's that, Kellyanne?
But I'll probably get off tonight and let you have somebody else.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking
at.
at right now. Truth Movement wants to call in. Yeah, but the thing is, somebody else called in. Was that Truth Movement? I don't know. I'll figure it out. But hey, but Drop, it's always a pleasure.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you one thing right now. I wanted to make a very good point last night about the S500, S400s, and the S300s.
Yes,
versus
please do.
The Patriot battery. The Patriot battery has been actually proved and tested against the SU-22 and the 24 Russian fighters. Okay, and there's been no shoot-downs of any that I'm aware of by the S400 of any of our aircraft. They, that's not like an F-84. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the modern stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
The F-15 Eagle is one hell of a plane. But also I wanted to point out another thing too. The Russian equivalent of our F-35. Okay, our F-35 has a range of 230 miles to detect the missile. The F-35 equivalent of the Russian plane is 25 miles.
Wow. So yeah, they're not even close. So that even adds more credence to my to my theory that these
That was
countries.
one of my biggest points I wanted to call in last night when you're voicemail.
These countries, if they're getting the S-400 instead of the American, the best defense missile systems, the Patriot, the THAAD,
That's what it is. It's a piece of junk.
but they'd rather get this junk S-400 instead of, the state-of-the-art
The only
American
technical-
defense missile system.
The only tactical,
That tells you where they're at.
advantage-
You
The
know?
only tactical advantage, Matt, is that they actually can shoot them at any angle.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I read, and it's very good. They can hit a high altitude and a low altitude same time. Like they
Right,
do.
but if the Russian equivalent and also the Chinese equivalent of the F-35 or the F-22 only has a range like that, it's not going to detect missiles when our fighters are already launched missiles.
Yeah.
So, until it's too late. Because you anything about 25 miles at the speed those move, even at hyperspeed.
Oh, 25 miles. That's nothing. I mean, the way that like dogfights happen nowadays.
You got a second and a half to make a decision, right?
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, 25 miles, you're already dead. I mean,
right. You got probably about 8 to 10 seconds when you've got 230 miles.
Yeah. So imagine at 25. Do the math. So what did you say? 230.
There's no way that the Russian ships or any other Navy out there right now compete our Aegis systems on our Navy ships. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So you're talking 10%, and you said 8 to 10 seconds. So we're talking. You know. 1 second. 1 second. Well, let's say that was a correct number, right? That would be like 0.4 seconds to a second.
Yeah, they got less than a second or so. They make a decision.
Yeah, less than a second. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like a half second. Yeah.
You know what it breaks down to. But, so their defense systems are crap.
But that speaks volumes to me. So the fact that Turkey, Pakistan, India, all these countries are deciding to choose that missile defense system, it's more about who they're aligning with than exactly what's the better missile.
I don't use the word countries anymore. I use the word corporations.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But the corporations, countries, whatever it is, they used to be allies. That's the thing. So, but now they're all equipping with Russian defense missile systems, and that speaks volumes to me.
Well, Trump actually explained that, what Erdogan said, because Erdogan said that he was forced to buy the AS-400 for protection because Obama would sell him the Patriot missile system.
Huh, that's interesting.
So I'm not so sure that Turkey's not really on their side, okay? And they do have a Navy a quarter the size of Russia, and they did buy most of their junk from us, most of our older ships.
Yeah, as far as the Navy,
just like South Korea has bought our older ships.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff South Korea runs is from even World War II, for Christ's sakes, okay? And there's no way that the Chinese even have the naval power to even compete. They're
not at all
crap compared to ours, and the Russian ships are shit too. I mean, the only thing they got
the new one, the one that's in Cuba, the Admiral Gorshkov. I mean, that's the best they got.
Well, we got 3 or 4 of them that are better than that. You know that.
That's more than that. Yeah, I mean, the U.S. Navy, and it's not just 'cause I was in the Navy, but the U.S. Navy is the most powerful force on Earth.
Yeah, basically a couple of destroyers could destroy Iran. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know that for a fact. And I know with the addition of the S-6 missile on top of the S-2 and S-3 and the Aegis systems on our Navy ships, there's no way that it'd be pretty hard to take out one of our ships because they could see that stuff coming miles away.
Oh yeah, it'd be almost impossible. I mean, you send a carrier strike group, that's it. Our U.S. Navy is extremely powerful. It's the most powerful force. It really is.
Well, most people think that a carrier is a sitting duck by itself, but it's really
not. No, it's surrounded by all types of aircraft, all types of destroyers, cruisers,
just by
everything.
itself, it had no escort at all. Those ships are very deadly.
Oh yeah, even on its own. Okay, yeah, but they don't just send them on its own anyway, though. You know what I mean? It's surrounded by destroyers and cruisers.
I know you won't even get a nuke close to them.
No,
because they already detect all that stuff. They have satellites. They have onboard ship computers that do that stuff. And sensors and all that kind of stuff. They even have stuff for sonic attacks. Christ's sakes. Or what people are calling dual weapons, whatever. Same deal. Our EWS. You know what an EWS is?
Of course.
Electronic warfare system.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have so many jammers that we can actually just ground the missiles before they even get close. And you can jam the communication investigations and everything else. You know?
And that's what we're the best at. I mean, that's my world right there.
Yeah, that's the Aegis systems. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll let you get with another call and
Hey, Drop, great call, great info. Everybody, it's pretty simple. I don't know how you got that name. You must have been on YouTube for a while, or just, I don't know. But it's pretty easy.
Well, it actually stands for a few things. It drop the knowledge. DR is initials for my first and last name, Outlaw Productions, and then there's one more thing, but I won't say.
Yeah. Operations? I don't know. I'm trying to guess, but I'm not gonna guess if you don't want me to say.
So something like that.
All right. So, guys, this is Drop. DROP. I think I've made that pretty clear. I mean, if you're not subscribed to this guy, you're not seeking the truth. This is where you want to be, as you can tell. I mean, his knowledge speaks for itself.
Yeah, you're doing a good job getting the information out to that. I want to admit to that, and I'm glad to see that you're not enormously, you're not chasing, from one.
No, I'm not going to chase the easy crap. I'm trying to actually get to the bottom of things.
There's so many people out there that are putting clickbait things up, okay? And what they're doing is that they're actually they're scaring crap out of people, and then they're trying to sell their Patreon, and
it's irresponsible, and it's all about money to them. Me, I've never made money outside of yesterday when my audio was off and I didn't know it, and people did.
I actually work at home for 17 years. I have computers now and programming, and I work for marketing companies. Before that, I was actually an engineer, electrical engineer, and I worked in military industrial complex. And I work only part-time now because I don't want to work hard. I'm in my mid-50s, and I still make anywhere from $1 to $2 grand a month, a week, I mean.
And there's only so much a man needs,
Well, I don't have any. I own everything I got, so I don't need anything.
Well, there you go. There you go. If you own everything you got, you're good.
Whatever I want to do.
Yeah, good for you. That's great. That's what I hope to be one day.
Yeah. It'll happen. But kids take a lot of money, so just factor that in because you're a 2-year-old and you got 16 more years, and by the time you hit 15, start milking you for money. By the way, especially daughters. So get used to it.
I just try to enjoy every day. Day by day. But thank you, Drop.
Thank you very much, Matt, for your service too, and for your time. And I appreciate your channel because you actually are not chasing the buck; you're chasing the train.
Always. Thank you for that, and thank you for your service as well.
Right now, I love Shauna very much too. I think she's a great.
Shauna is the greatest.
She's one of our vets, and she's one of our own.
We look out.
Stand with her too.
And and even if we are, of course, we look out for our own, but look at her channel. It speaks out for itself. She's no longer Mafugu Reports. Now she is Face It Fearless. In case anybody's trying to find Shauna, it's Face It Fearless. So check her out. She's all over the flooding, out by the Missouri River, on that whole area.
She's really getting hammered right now with floods, and I need to get onto her website, but I've been so busy this summer with stuff, and I'm waiting for information back from her, but I know her stuff is really getting whatever, and if you want a website too, I will do pro bono, nothing, paid down. There's nothing to pay for. I'll help you out too, bro, so.
Yeah, and if there's any any other sites or whatever that you think I should maybe check out, feel free to text this number.
I will.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much, Drop, and you have a blessed night, and thank you for calling in.
You too, and may the Father be with you.
Thank you. May the Father with you as well. Alright guys, that was Drop, one of my favorite guys. I mean, the knowledge speaks for itself. I know that some of it is like above people's heads, but there's enough in there where you can kind of take what you can and leave maybe what you don't understand, and that'll help you. If you really listen, like if you play back what he talks about, what you do understand, take that, and that'll lead you to help understand the other stuff that he was also talking about. He was talking about some stuff that I haven't heard since school. So, Drop is amazing. Great guy. Alright, so this is what I got going on. I know that I do have trolls trying to mess with me, but that's all good. So I have a Delaware 302. You are next in line if you want to call right now. But at the same time, Kellyanne, what was Truth Movement. Truth Movement. If you are 302, feel free to call right now. I'll give 302 a second since there's a delay. If not, Truth Movement, I've seen you in chat. I've seen some of the things that you dropped in chat, and I love what you put in there. Although I haven't. Oh, there you are. Okay. Yeah, Truth Movement is always put in some great information. Well, yeah, Truth Movement. That's probably the only caller I give that much time to. And if you were listening, there's a reason why. 2.5 hours, same caller. I'll do fucking 5.5 hours with him. Alright? Like, if you really want truth. I don't know what you were trying to say by that. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. So yeah, Delaware, you're next. Hey, chat, if you guys can do me a favor, just let me know, have you guys heard me say Delaware, you're next yet? As soon as you guys hear me say the words, Delaware, you're next. Yeah, I know, Truth Caller. No, it's Truth Movement. And I was just commending him on, I hear him say a lot of smart things in chat. I've also seen him say one dumb thing in chat. 2.5 hours with one caller. Honestly, I'll give Drop 10.5 hours on my channel. Alright, because I will rewind it and pick his brain. And if you want to learn, that's how you do things. Alright, on this channel, certain callers, they might have nothing. So, just not to be rude, I might give them 8 minutes and hang up. Alright, that's the way it goes in this channel. It's not you have a certain amount of time. Because I'm a smaller channel, I can do it like that. So if the call, there's not really much coming, then I will be polite. I'll let you get your point out, and then I'll say thank you for calling. If it's a bad call, If it's someone like Drop, no, of course it wasn't 2.5 hours, but that was said, and I read it, so I didn't like it, and I'm just saying that. I would give him 10.5 hours if I wanted to, because I go by how interesting the intel is. So if the intel is good, then they can keep going. As long as I, that's how it goes. There's no time limit, and there's no time as far as like too short. If you call in and you're just talking about superficial nothing, then I might end the call in 6 minutes. It all depends on the content. That's what this channel is about. It's about truth. And if you're not getting to the truth, I'll end the call quick. In a very polite way. I mean, just, I want callers to call in with their homework. But at the same time, I don't want to discourage anybody from calling either. That doesn't mean that even if you're an 8-minute call, I like to hear opinions on some of the questions that I posed earlier, such as what do you think of America First and how that has affected our standing in the country. Now, if somebody's trying to call in because of what was going on earlier, no, of course it wasn't 2.5 hours. No, it wasn't. It's 3:30. No, it wasn't. It was like a good 45 minutes. Just whatever. No big deal. Don't worry about it, Truth Movement. It's not a big deal. Just, I saw that comment. I was actually looking back, trying to commend you for having such great input, usually, to be honest with you. And when I saw that, I had to correct you. Alright. So, Delaware hasn't called. I'm sure, have you guys heard Delaware hasn't called? Call in Delaware. If you guys have heard that, then calls, the line's open. The line's open. Anybody who wants to call. The only thing I'm worried about is it seems like they're like blocking it so nobody can call in. Truth Movement, are you in Delaware? Is that you? Because I was about to call it. But if that's not you, I don't want to... To me, I thought it was like 45 minutes. A 45-minute call. Something like that. I started the stream at like, what? Yeah, but maybe an hour. Yeah, maybe an hour. But that's because it was a great call. That's how I do it. I don't have a time limit. I do it by the content. If the content is there, I will let it keep going. If the content's not there, which is fine, if the content, or if, you have some content and it takes about 10 minutes to, say your content, and it's great, and, that's basically all you got, then that's it. It's 10 minutes. I shouldn't have to explain this. I've been doing this a while, but at the same time, I know there's some new subscribers. I hope I'm not making anyone feel like, kind of like, wary to call in. That's not my intention. I wish everybody in here would call in, even if just 5 minutes each, just to give an opinion. I want to hear what people think. People as pissed off as me about Europe after us saving their ass. Whether it be country, corporation, they are corporations, we all know that, right? But regardless, it's the optics. For them to turn on us, go behind our back, and circumvent our sanctions. It's wrong. I don't know. Someone called in from Delaware. I'm going to try to call Delaware. Truth Movement. I'm waiting for you to call. Just so you know. You were just in chat 2 seconds ago. Yeah, there you are. What's up, brother? 2.5 hours same calls. The last thing you said. Which is why I said what I said. But it's all good. It's all love here, Just because I addressed that doesn't mean it's all love, brother. Because I was just before that, I was talking about how I've noticed you in chat. You stand out. You have a great grasp on the topics usually. I'd love for you to call. Alright, if no one's calling, I'm going to call his Delaware number, even though it's really late. Let me see what time he called at. Well, he called at 2:14 a.m. Eastern time, so it's an hour later. Let's just see. Or it could be,
Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
That's shady. You hear that? Exactly, Drop. Exactly. You know what? Actually, I'm going to talk about that. Alright. In the Bible, a generation is... and listen, hey, don't feel like you're cutting me off. If somebody wants to call in, call in. And if you call in and for some reason, like, it just keeps ringing and you're not getting through, just put it in chat and I'll call you. Okay. In the Bible, 70 years is a generation, right? Well, let's pull up some information, because where we are at right now, someone calling? No. Still no calls. Truth movement. I'm waiting on you, brother. Alright. What happened to what I said then? Oh, man. Do I have to, like, create a new... $10 ago? So what? You think he's left since? Okay, well, I don't know what to say. I mean, that was a rude last comment, but it's okay. Trust me, I've said much worse and been forgiven, so it's no problem. It's just, yeah, I love it. I love it. I just want to see if somebody wants to call. Otherwise, I'd love to jump into the generation as far as the Bible goes, what a generation is, and all that. Because of the problems with the phone, because they're messing with us right now, is there anybody that wants to call in? If you want to call in, just say me or I want to, anything. Is there anybody that wants to call in? I encourage you. I know Drop, it's like hard to follow him, but it's not this isn't a like contest, you know, who knows the most and all that, and it's not about that. You know, some people have certain histories where they have a lot of knowledge in certain areas, whereas you might have knowledge in a different area that would blow their mind. So, you know, we're open to everything. Yeah, wasn't that weird? Listen to this, guys. So the Delaware number that called during the last phone call, okay? Now, I've heard of Google, like, on Verizon, like a Google phone, but it's like part of Verizon. I've never heard of Verizon as a service. Listen to this.
Hello. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
Oh, now it's ringing. That's weird. They're probably gonna be pissed off.
The Google subscriber you have called is not available. Please leave a message after the tone.
The Google subscriber. Very odd. Because I've seen the Google phones, but they were always like through Verizon or something like that. That's odd. Isn't that interesting? So is anybody interested? Or should I get into some information? Let me see here. By the way, Q, right? Actually, I'm supposed to save this for another video, but alright, please retreat. The nation is on alert for Trump firing acting Attorney General. This is from Seth Abramson, okay? And this is January 2018. It's been that long? Wow. A prelude to blocking progress in the Mueller investigation, eventually firing Mueller. Those who believe in the rule of law must be clear in saying firing Rosenstein is a red line Trump cannot cross. Alright. Oh, shoot. Okay. Now, what a coincidence. Do you believe? Have faith. The hunters have become the hunted. What's the coincidence, though? Oh, it's in here. Whatever's in that, whatever's in here that I can't read. But anyways, it all went according to plan. Now let's see what's going on here. Do you believe? These are all the different Q posts where he says that. The world is awakening. So Al Jazeera, Armenia, Prime Minister serves Sajan resigns after protests. Coincidence? I think that was referred to in the previous post that we couldn't see. Do you believe the world's awakening? Same exact thing. Why was Armenia mentioned recently? Clowns losing control. For those of you who don't know, clowns, that's CIA, deep state, set the stage. And that's supposed to be said by POTUS. And I think that was actually said at a rally. I mean, this is way back, 2018. Do you believe? Buckle up. Now, mind you, this has been going on since way back then, okay? And it seems to be coming to fruition right now, which is why it is definitely exciting. There's a reason that, to me, that Bitcoin is where it's at. Come on. shit.
One American News. How past administration.
Oh, and One American News, they do lean right, but what I like about One American News is they don't lean right as much as like Fox News.
That ISIS
They're a little bit
operates
more
entering the
central.
US through our open southern border.
You're talking about ISIS coming through the southern border.
Claudia Ruiz, in a news report, said that she was shocked that there was this culpable negligence, this willful blind eye turned by both the Obama administration and major media in the United States, not discussing this well-known fact that ISIS was going to use our southern border to cross into the United States.
The International Center.
Which makes sense, and this isn't just hearsay. They've caught ISIS fighters trying to come through. Like this guy.
Extremism, ICSPE, released alarming videos of ISIS terrorists confessing.
They actually try to come in through Puerto Rico,
through Mexico,
since they're territory.
A quick ISIS keyword search yields no mention of this report in any of the top media outlets.
Isn't that crazy? If you try to search for this story, you won't find it. Not on Google. And they've admitted to this, as of late especially. If you guys have been watching, they've admitted to doing this.
Out. And she claims, or she expresses her frustration at why the
You guys didn't have desktop audio. You guys couldn't hear that. Sorry about that. I'll make sure that doesn't happen again. Okay, so let me get out of here. Basically, they were just talking about ISIS entering through the border. What's going on here? Okay.
American media continues to ignore it. I mean, that gives you an idea of the scope and scale of the threat.
Farrell says ISIS movement through Latin America has been extensively documented at every level of law enforcement, both in Mexico and the U.S.
And now we have on video, in person, an ISIS terrorist explaining exactly what we
There's like a media blackout about this.
Under Obama, the ISIS threat through Mexico was largely ignored. President Trump cites Islamic terrorism as one more reason to build a wall on our southern border. But mainstream media doubled down, claiming ISIS in Mexico was myth and hysterics.
Do you have any idea what the president's talking about when he says there are unknown Middle Easterners mixed in with that?
Alright guys, I have so much material on there, but that's supposed to be for another video. I did a part 1, and I'd like to do a part 2 on that. But what I do want to talk about is something that was brought up in chat. But first, let me check chat. I didn't know I closed the whole Chrome. Yeah, a caller right now would be great. somebody wants to call in, that'd be great right now. Because instead I'm kind of like, going through all this crap. Alright. Waiting for this to load. Alright. Interesting. Here we go. Restore. Alright, let me see where you guys are at. Let me see what's going on in chat. If not, I'm going to talk about us potentially being the last generation, biblically. Brian Knight, I'm surprised I haven't heard from you tonight. Let's see. Looks like everyone's going to bed. Oh, and Kellyanne said at the same time. Alright then, guys. We'll call it a night. Alright, so, thank you for everybody sticking around. I hope you guys all learned something. I would suggest going back into this video, pausing, listening, Googling, pausing, listening, Googling, and learn a few things about what was said. And Truth Movement, I promise, the next live call-in show, which will be tomorrow night, and if for some reason it's not tomorrow night because it's Sunday and with family, it'll still be tomorrow night, but 80% chance tomorrow night. But if not, it'll be Monday night. You'll be first. And as for Delaware, I'd like you to call in and just maybe tell us why it's Google and all that. Because I've heard of the Google phone, but through Verizon and things like that. So, kind of curious about that. So, yeah, a lot of red pills tonight. So, when you're looking for a red pill and you need that Pez, you know where to go, right? It's the Red Pill Dispensary. And that's a yes, Kellyanne. Alright, guys. You guys have a blessed night. Thank you for joining me. I love you all. Truth Movement, you're first on the next call-in show. I hope you didn't take offense to what I said. It's just, I just had to address it. I mean, that's just how I am. But in a friendly way. That's how we are here. If something's said, I'll address it. But it's all in love. Okay? Because with the whole world lining up against us, we don't know how much time we got left. Alright? These Europeans doing this speaks volumes. It really does. Be prepared. I recommend West Virginia Prepared Mind. Watch her channel. It's WV space prepared space mind. Check that out. She has all kinds of information on canning and prep, different types of prep. As far as I would recommend for sure, instead of cases of water, I think you would be better off with a water filter. That way you get to a water source and it's an unlimited supply. Sometimes you might come to a water source that's dried up, dig right at the riverbank, and it's almost like you got a well. And that water, because of the soil it's basically filtered anyway. So that's good. That's water you could just drink. I still filter it anyways. That's just how I am. But that water should be good to drink because it's already been filtered through all the sediment and the dirt and all that. So, and the soil. So alright guys, like I said before, when you're looking for a red pill, come to the Red Pill News Dispensary because that's where it's at. And I have a lot of content that was supposed to go out today that didn't go out. So you guys will be seeing a lot of me, and I pray I'll be seeing a lot of you. Alright? And speaking of praying, I suggest you all hit your knees tonight. I can't force you, but I suggest it. Alright? Things are not looking as good as one would hope. So hit your knees. Alright? It's not about religion. It's about knowing the Father. Alright guys. Oh, Truth Movement, there you are. Truth Movement. You're in another call. Yes. So you're like first everyone. I mean, I'd say call in right now, but you'd be talking to like me, and that's about it. So you're first on the next show. Alright, you're first, no matter what. If you're not there in time, I'll have to tell someone. Let's say like you're third. I'll have to tell that third person, sorry, I made a promise. Truth Movement's in. So Truth Movement on the next show. So that Delaware 302, that wasn't you. Yeah, that was odd. The whole Google thing, because as far as I know, Google has phones, but they are not, like a service. They go through Verizon, they go through AT&T, whatever it may be. But again, Truth Movement, you're first, or whenever you do get into the next call-in show, which will 80% be tomorrow, if not the next night. I try to do a call-in show every night, but usually it ends up being like 5 nights a week. So you will be first, depending on when you get into chat. Alright, you just get into chat, let me know you're there, and I'm sure one of the mods will let me know. Alright guys, you guys all have a blessed night. Alright, Red Pill signing off, huh? Take care, fellas. Kellyanne, stand by.